while keeping him vulnerable.
Yeah.
But it made me laugh because that's all it. Hey, show him your shit right here. You know, because it's you know, not only my elbows and shoulders, your shoulders and elbows. I'm gonna use that too, right, against you. Mm-hmm. And by the time you know, fuck, what do I do here? I done got you. It's over with now. Now you got to take that back home and try to figure out how you do it. And that's why I say when you tell fighters, it doesn't matter. I'm not secretive as far as that don't mean I'm just helping anybody, but you can watch me train a guy. I don't give a shit. If you think this is the best example, I say, you know what irks me about the YouTube coaches is this. Not that you don't go to YouTube, because if my starter goes out on my car, I might go to fucking YouTube and see where the screws is and shit too, right? But I can't go to YouTube, watch an open heart surgery video until you come by the house and I'm gonna cut your chest open and fix you. If you don't know that boxing is that intricate, you're way out your fucking league. So by the time you're doing something you've seen on a video, there's no base to it. There's no fundamental to it because you just stimulate, man.
Most of the time when I watch videos, it's not live, like old videos on YouTube. I watch it without the sound because it's either one thing that I'm focusing on. Like, I remember when I first started boxing, Jericho told me I had shitty footwork, so all I did, quote unquote, and all I did was just watch feet on mute. And a lot of the times the commentators don't know what they're talking about. And it's entertaining depending on who it is. Like Paulie Malignaggi, he's always entertaining because he knows what he's talking about.
But 87% of the time.
87% of the time. It's not like, what's his name?
The announcers.
Yeah. Andre Ward, Paulie Malignaggi, and God, I can't think of his name. He fought Pacquiao and won, and he shouldn't have won. Timothy Bradley. Yeah. Timothy Bradley. He's very good. Yeah. But those three guys, I like listening to them speak.
His favorite one.
Who?
Roy Jones.
Oh, Roy Jones.
Horrible. Horrible explanation of the fight. But no, I agree with you.
I watch it on mute. Depending on what I need to know.
I put Roy Jones on mute if it's a fucking live show.
What do you have against Roy Jones Jr.?
He's so fucking great. I don't got nothing against him. He's one of my explanations of super athletes. Like, to me, Roy Jones, I'm going to admit this publicly, and I'm never going to say it again. Since we live.
Hold on, let's make sure this is working.
Since we live, and you put me on Front Street. Y'all get that a lot. What you got against Roy? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Roy Jones was such a phenomenal athlete who chose the box, right? He was so much better than everybody physically and agility-wise that his flaws were never exposed until later on when he slowed down a little bit, right? And so never has a guy done so much with so little fundamental understanding that it's almost amazing. It's like shit. It's like, now flip the script. Same story with Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali's so fucking great, right? He's so great. He probably had the best chin in the world because we know that. He got tested forever at the end. But his chin was up in the ass, hands was down, feet too wide. He never threw a fucking body shot in his life. His uppercuts, he just was reaching for him and shit. But he was such a phenomenal athlete, right? So those guys, like, it's almost like cheap, right? It's like,
because he never really got tested. Like, what's his name? He's a white guy. He coached, I forgot his name, but he was talking about Tyson. He had a real thick New York accent. And he said Mike Tyson was not the greatest. He was not the best because every time he got tested, he lost. And I agree. Every time he fought somebody that wasn't afraid to fight him, he lost.
I was watching that Lennox Lewis fight.
Oh, what's his name? He's a good commentator. He used to be Timothy Bradley's coach.
Oh, you talking about Teddy Atlas?
Teddy Atlas, yeah.
He was Tyson's amateur coach.
And I agree with him. And I honestly, from a outsider looking in, I think a lot of guys are like that. As soon as they get tested, they just shut down.
On the upper echelon of the sport?
Low and up.
World champions.
On the low, I've seen guys that as soon as they start getting tested in the ring, they quit. But women, we don't have that luxury to not either we quit, people just don't want to fuck with us no more, or we just grind it out. And that's what we have to do. That's why all of our fights are good, whether or not they're good fighters, whether or not they're good boxers.
So to prove my point, and I'll let it be with the Roy Jones shit. That's why when he did finally age caught him and you know, his reflexes and shit slowed down just a little bit, not a lot. I mean, he was still super fast and stuff. That's why good boxers started knocking him out. Mm-hmm. Just good boxers, journeymen, right? They started sleeping because his fundamentals were so horrible, man.
So, are you putting Tolbert in that category?
Who?
Tolbert? Antonio Tolbert? He was the first one to knock him out, wasn't he?
Who?
Antonio Tolbert. That's his name, right? The one who knocked out
Tolbert. Yeah. Tolbert was a good, solid fighter, good southpaw fighter, and you know, I get the whole. Nah, he went up in weight and came in weight, and that's what ruined him. Listen, dude. Roy Jones went from 75 to 190, right? Look at his age. The shit was catching up with him, and he just slowed down. That doesn't negate how fucking great he was, bro. What he did, you know, I'm not a fan because it was a whole bunch of fighters he didn't fight. A whole slew of them that he could have fought that he didn't. But that's just business. It's boxing. You protect your guy, and you know, there's a generation of people that's their favorite fighter, and they think he's the best thing since sliced bread. My thing is, you go in there emulating that shit, and you're not Roy Jones' athleticism, you're in trouble like a motherfucker because it goes against the grain of boxing. That's my only thing. So it's really, like I'm saying, it's like cheating. It's like, this motherfucker was so good physically, right? Early 90s, my partner, man, we was in the gym working, and he was a pro. And remember when Roy went on that light heavyweight, he fought a bunch of southpaws, right? My guy was a southpaw. So they paid him to come out to Florida for 2 weeks, right? I said, man, I wasn't a fan then. Man, and my kid could punch. Test that motherfucker's jaw, man. Go ahead. They paying you, go ahead. All right, cool, all right. Lasted a week. Didn't even make the 2 weeks. Came back like, dude, beat up. Black eyes and everything. And my guy's a journeyman, he could fight. He said, dude, I couldn't even see this motherfucker. It was some shit in my face a while ago, and now that ain't all that, you know, I'm like, damn. And so my theory was just a theory. You got to press Jones. He can't fight going backwards because he's all leaning forward because he's relying on reflexes and shit. But you got to dirty boxing to get him back there and trap him and beat him up. That's the only way you're going to beat him up. So it finally happened, but it was after, like I said, it was after he slowed down a little bit. I ain't going to act like somebody beat him in his prime or nothing. No, they didn't. But he was that superior of an athlete. And as a boxing guy, as a fundamental boxing guy, shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what do you do with a gifted guy like that who's doing it all wrong? You doing it all right, and he's winning, right? You damn near got to cheat. You got to get dirty to win the fight. Yeah. So that's my thing. And so when you talk about Roy Jones calling fights and shit, I'm like, he said shit like, you know, 1-2. You got to throw the 1-2 and shit like that. 1-2. Jesus Christ, man. But you listen to Timothy Bradley or
Paulie Malignaggi.
Especially Paulie. I think Paulie's probably the best thing smoking right now.
I really did. He just talks so fast. I think his
that New York.
Yeah, that New York accent. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Y'all listen to his podcast. He gets on a rant.
I do. His podcast is it's with his best friend, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
it's called Brooklyn something.
Yeah, Brooklyn something. I haven't watched it and listened to it in a while, but he's a good commentator. I don't think he needs to do any more competing. I know he did bare knuckle, which I think is stupid. I think bare knuckle is very.
That's the reason when we started wrapping hands. It wasn't for to protect them.
It's exactly you. What do you prove by that? By doing that, there's not. You just don't. Why? Why do you prove how big your dick is?
It's a spectacle, is what it is, and it's got a market for somebody's mind. So it's like a chicken fight, a dog fight.
Yeah,
there's a market for it.
They called me for it. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, fuck you, no. But in my email, they're like, no, thank you.
Damn. So so we had a date on this next fight up.
Yeah.
Just find out you the opponent pool, right? So we got how long?
I think about 2.5 weeks.
2.5 weeks to find our opponent.
It's doubtful. Let's just be real. But it's okay. It's okay. Things are the way that they are for whatever reason.
Well, I'm sure Joe and them was gonna be trying to find somebody.
Possibly.
And like I said, you know, always, especially on the local fights like that, man, your coach and you too, you know, try to find somebody. I know it's a little harder than with the men, but even the men sometimes you can't find people to step in. We just lost that fight. We were supposed to be fighting yesterday in Vegas.
When did y'all did he pull out?
Like a week.
Oh, last week.
And I gave him. Now that's a little bit different than something here locally. We sent them a name, and Vegas didn't okay. And then according to Roy Jones people, they because they was offering us the, you know, would y'all fight this one? Would you fight that one? And they offered a couple of them though. And we really need, you know, I didn't want to miss that opportunity because there's, you know, we was televised on that one, and you know, I think I looked at it like 450,000 subs on that UFC fight page. So if 100,000 of them was watching the boxing show, we need to be on that.
Yeah.
You know? So I really hated to miss that opportunity. We're working on some other things, hopefully. How
was your, I've been meaning to ask you, but I know you have a female fighter here at your gym. How is she doing? I don't know her, but I'm always curious.
She joined the gym, how long ago?
6 months ago, maybe?
And I watched her work for a little while.
You're a people watcher?
Well, when it comes to training somebody.
Oh, no, I do it because it's fun.
Oh, yeah. So I watched it, and Quentin, both Quentin and Robert knew her. And Quentin was like, I know that girl, coach. She'll fight. She can fight. You need to train her. And I said, Quentin, you tell me that about every fucking time, man. I don't know. But I watched her and watched her work ethic, and they all end up sooner or later asking me when I train, you know. So it depends on your pocketbook as well as your working, right? So she's just a good gal, and I think she had a couple amateur fights already. She had like 2 or 3 amateur fights. She was in the service, and she's one of them ones like Danger. Just if I tell her to do something, I can walk off, come back 3 days later, and she's doing this shit. So I think she's gonna work out as long as she wants to fight.
She's small, huh?
She's smaller than you. She's about your height though. About her height.
Yeah. How tall are you?
5'8".
Yeah.
She but she's not sparring or nothing for me yet. And she done had, see, I understand that's frustrating. You know, for somebody who had fights, you know, to come and be like, where you try, it was really frustrating for Robert, right? Here's a kid who's a pro already with X amount of fights. But you know, Robert, you asked me to train you. I didn't go looking for you, you know, and there's some shit I gotta do. And like I told him, I said, you know,
that's understandable.
And we had a couple of outings and we didn't win. You think I ain't fucking mad? You know, so we gotta stick to it. But and to Robert's credit, man, he's such a fucking hard worker, man. And I think once he put in his head, I think like everybody. Who's this guy? This guy can train. Oh yeah, I want to do that. He did this and this and that. Yeah. And then in the midst of it, just like a 10-year-old kid, man, I want to fight. Yeah, go fight then.
Yeah, but I understand that there's levels to training. You have to continually practice in order for you to see it and be comfortable for them to do it. I mean, it's one thing to execute something, but then you have to understand why it is.
Robert's biggest obstacle with me and him, trainer, coach, fighter, is he's too smart for his mind to understand. He can comprehend. That's a whole other thing to be able to do it. And because he's an intelligent kid, he says, I got it. And then you go out there and can't do it. Fuck, what's going on? Because you ain't trained, bro. You know, you got it. Our partner Jeff, he's a national coach, right? He retired Army guy. he does girls too, the national girl. He was talking. He said, Coach, he said, in the Army they teach us. I think this is who told me. I try to give everybody credit. I think Jeff told me that. He said, in the Army you got to do a thing 2,000 times before it starts to build a habit. It ain't even a habit. It's just now it's becoming a habit. And fighters that's intelligent who think they're not dummies, you know. I got you, man. I got you. Yeah, you got me, but you ain't doing it. So what you know? I never lose my. I've been doing this shit 22 years. I don't lose my. I don't get frustrated. I watch you get frustrated and laugh. Now I pick and poke and make you mad, but it's all part of the training too.
Yeah.
Building that brain up to realize doing this under duress, right?
Yeah.
So I don't get frustrated. I sit there and watch you do it wrong over and over and over, and I say you're doing it wrong.
So the best time that I actually spar when I fight is when I don't think about anything. I kind of just black out. And I just go and go. Autopilot.
Yeah.
And I react. So it's not, if I'm thinking and I'm trying to do certain things, I'm not going to do it.
Well, it goes back to your mind playing game time.
Yeah, like if I'm trying to do something, then either I'm going to hesitate to do it or I just won't do it. So what my coach and I, we do is, he's like, Jazz, just do it. Just don't think, just relax and do it. And it's easier said than done because you're always thinking.
Well, it goes back to doing things 2,000 times.
Yeah.
With that muscle memory where it's just becomes natural.
Because there's
Shut the brain down and just
let
the body take over.
Right. What we'll do sometimes is we'll have a day where we'll concentrate on one thing. Maybe it's a body shot, a specific body shot. And it's one body shot that we concentrated on heavily for this camp. And we did it just hours and hours and hours. And I found like that was my best combination right now. And then it started to just appear when out of nowhere, just without thinking. So if I think that's the best thing is when people don't think.
As a fighter, if you thought about it instead of doing it, it's too late.
It's too late. Like you have too much time to think.
Exactly. And so you know.
If I don't remember that sparring session, then I did great.
Right. It wasn't no problem. I didn't walk into shit in that thing, man. But yeah, so yeah, hopefully we got 2.5, 3 weeks. Hopefully I'll find another opponent. If not, I'm sure y'all gonna learn something else. So we gotta get busy and fight. You got one professional fight, right?
As a boxing pro.
Yeah, you gotta get this ball on.
And you haven't ever seen me fight? Not at all.
Just seen like some videos, like trainings and stuff.
Yeah, that's about it.
Quentin told me about you too, though. He told me why you. So I've been sharing shit, and you know, hey, he's a fan of everybody too. But
Quentin ain't a fan of everybody. He a fan of the people that he likes. Yeah. Like I would say respects.
He'll tell me who can fight and who can't.
Yeah. Like I mean, he's too experienced to just be like, oh, that person fights. I like him. Like he appreciates people that. I mean, I don't know Quentin like that, but I can kind of understand it. I've been around these guys long enough to know they see me when I was fat. So what?
But damn, I was hoping this. We ain't got nobody on that show. A bunch of y'all was on that show.
It was. I'm looking forward to seeing Jericho.
Yeah.
He's doing a lot.
I seen a post the other day saying going down to Florida, yeah? Did you hear anything about
I did not hear that.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that.
Yeah.
So wait, so where's this fight gonna be?
I don't know if it's this fight, but I know he made a post saying he was going 140 pounds.
Oh, wow.
That's I'm misremembering. But I think
hey, it's doable. If I can go down to 132 at 5'8",
fits his frame.
Yeah,
he's a puncher, so the smaller he is, the better.
See, and then guys, y'all don't have that luxury of saying y'all have a hard time losing weight. Y'all go to the gym and lose 10 pounds in one session.
If it's a dude having trouble losing weight, he's usually older or he ain't
right. So it's for me, like I've had times where I won't lose a pound, but I look small. And I'm just holding on to water and muscle.
Yeah.
Y'all don't have that problem.
I'm one of those guys who usually they get beat up sooner or later because I know how to fight. So I ain't worried about it. And who I'm gonna have to fight, I'm gonna just take advantage of. But I'm gonna come across some kids that's gonna know how to fight, and I'm gonna be 45 years old running and shit. Ah, dang, I can't let them up with the shine on me.
When did you stop fighting?
Oh, I was a kid. I was boxing as a child. I started getting in trouble. And started having kids and shit. And that went out the window.
You said you have 8 kids?
Yeah.
Did I hear that right?
Yeah.
Ocho?
Yeah, I had 3 from the first marriage. My wife had 3.
Oh, okay.
And then Mary got 2.
Oh, that's still your kids.
Yeah, all of them. So I remember that kid. My grandbaby, my youngest grandbaby, I know you see it, you see her on my Facebook.
I seen her.
I raised her mama since she was 1. So
I hear you with that.
Yeah.
My niece just had a baby. So I'm a great aunt at 30. My brother's 43, and she was born when I was 11, and we raised her about the first year. So I had that baby in my hand, on my arms on Wednesday. It was a newborn baby, 8 pounds, and I was just bawling, crying. She's like, "What's wrong with you?" And I'm like, "I held you. You don't understand the feeling that you have seeing something that's you."
Man, I had my daughter sitting in the video yesterday. She took off walking.
I saw that.
I got emotional like a motherfucker, man. And I wasn't there and shit. I want to be there, man.
Oh, no.
Up too fast,
I was
man.
there. I told Chelsea, call me. So 4:30, she was at the hospital, and I called my job. I'm like, I can't come in today. I was there at like 5 in the morning, just like, holy shit. But the baby came, and it's a beautiful experience. I don't have any children just yet, but that's a beautiful experience. Yeah, and my boyfriend's like, whoa.
So where can people find you at?
Oh, they can find me on Instagram, Jasmine_Crawford89, or just Facebook, Jasmine Crawford.
Right, quick. I read your stories, man.
Yeah. I started dabbling into, my degree is philosophy, which is basically like a logistical English degree. And I always wrote, but never let anybody read it. A friend of mine, he hooked me up with the U of H website and their marketing and writing department at the Venture Online. I just started doing articles and I wanted to share it.
The 2 you sent me about the boxing, I told you I like it. I'm an avid reader, so and I thought what you wrote about Robert, man, hit the nail on the head.
Yeah,
with that
he
guy.
told me you read it too. Yeah.
So where do they go? So you write articles for the U of H thing?
It's really just like a passion piece. I don't get paid to do it. I do it because I like it. And Robert was a part of a 3-part series that I wanted to feature fighters with around Houston. The other one is of an MMA fighter. His name is Jonathan Davis, who's very good too. Now the third one, I don't know yet. I was thinking about asking Quentin, but I'm not really sure if he'd be up for it.
Well, to write, I don't give a shit. You want to write something about it? Ask him. You gonna say what you need?
Yeah. I was thinking about it. He is, but certain things is. He had a camp going on, and I didn't want to impede that. And I had my camp, and so I didn't want us to hinder our camps. But those things I wrote, they mean a lot to me, especially the first one that I sent you.
I like that was very articulate. I thought it expressed exactly the feelings that.
Well, it's funny because like my last fight that I had, not this one but the one in May, I had to pull out of that fight. Life was happening,
right?
And it started to every fight life happens. Something always goes wrong, but it was just at one time. And I've gone through so many camps where life was happening habitually, and I was able to just block it out. But for this one, my body was getting affected, and it was fucking me up, and I was physically not able to do certain things. So it was just I had to get my body together. Like physically, I wasn't healthy, and stress will do that to you. Stress will put you in the hospital.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I didn't want to put myself into a position where I was fucked up even more by having a fight. And I'd be like, okay, well, what if I push myself too much, but I don't want to do this shit no more?
Right.
So, and then people were saying that a lot of negative things, and no one really knew why I pulled out of the fight. They didn't care to ask.
Yeah, I think so.
So yeah, right. So
you know why?
Oh, we talked about it. Yeah. Yeah. So me and my coach, he was like, "Jazz, this is about you." And I'm like, how many other fighters out here are doing the same thing I'm doing, where they push themselves to the limit just so they won't affect somebody else who don't care?
Right.
And who cares about us? Who cares about the fighters? A few people. And so that's basically what that article was about.
It was very articulate. I understood it, man. So when you write things and they upload or publish it or whatever, you usually share it. Right?
Yeah.
I'll be making sure that
Yeah.
Hopefully,
I like doing that, especially around Houston, because I think a lot of the fighters, they can speak, but they don't speak like themselves in such a way that's relatable. Like how Robert is, he's so quiet, and nobody really knows him. And so in doing that article, it helped him. And then Jonathan Davis, I shared it with a lot of people at my job, and they were even more interested to understand and want to know what's going to happen to him. So to be able to articulate somebody and to see them grow from one place to another and articulate it in maybe 1,000 words is I like doing this. It's one of my passions. I just haven't shared a lot.
She's a history buff, a writing buff, a fighter.
Psychology. What you said, psychology?
No,
philosophy. Oh, even heavier. Shit.
Complete package.
Yeah.
Well, and a chocolate enthusiast.
There you go.
A chocolate enthusiast. I'm a chocolate enthusiast too. Shit. I didn't know we had a name.
Yes, we do. That's an actual group. I'll start a Facebook group too.
Okay. Well, that's Jasmine. I appreciate you coming.
I appreciate the invite.
Pretty fun, man.
Yeah.
That's why same reason why you writing is why we're doing this podcast.
You know what you should do? Y'all should watch a fight and have a podcast like they do. Called, I forgot what it's called, but you watch a fight at the same time people are watching a fight. Fight companion.
You can't show the fight, but I guess you could show the fight if you know how to pirate the shit. But it's best to not
show it. But if y'all do a fight comparison, especially with the MMA fight that I'm telling y'all to do, I think it'd be so cool. And then to have your perspective live, and like some of those questions that you have about being on the ground, things like that, have a room full of people who have opposing positions. I think that'd be very interesting.
Yeah.
We gotta get internet and HT first.
My little unit's dying back there. I tell you, I've never been turned down as far as the fighters coming up. They all listening, and I laugh because if I tell like a fighter, say, bro, you want to? Yeah, man, I wait for you to ask me. Quit waiting for me to ask you, bro. If you got a fight coming up, say, hey, bro, I got a fight coming up. We support every promoter, I don't know everybody. I only know who I know, even though I've been here 20 years, but I still only know who I know. And man, we very self. I don't think we've been a fighter. We ain't rooting for trying to get them to, come through the podcast and keep it going. And I think the important part is showing people that boxers are real people, not just the guy talking shit in the phone at the gym. They find out about you, philosophy, a writer.
There's more to you.
Yeah. You was in there. You started school. You was 21 and overweight and started working out, and then you fought him. That's a compelling story that people just don't see. But that's what I like. I like fighters to say
their story.
We seen that X-ray in your hand. That was a bad break. You broke
3.
It was 3. Jesus. That's you know what I'm saying? They don't see that part of it. They just see Adrian Broner talking cash money shit.
Try brushing your hair with one
with a bad hand. But I appreciate you coming in, and
thank y'all so much
when you line up something else, come in and we'll bring your coach shot. What's your trainer's name?
Chris Paul. And everybody call him Deuce. And Daryl Nolan when he came most of the time with Deuce on the regular
CDM, right?
Yeah.
CDM boxing.
And I'm under Chris Paul management. That's his management company.
Good deal.
What's up?
He was gonna come here today, but he's doing OHI. Don't y'all have a fighter?
Tomorrow Sunday.
Yeah.
He just One fight.
A walkover?
Yeah. I think it was only 3 of them, so.
It wasn't that big of a turnout this
He
year.
got 2 fighters. He got 2 fights, so I'm sure the other 2 must be newcomers, so they got to fight before he can fight. I'm guessing that's how it ended up like that. But, yeah, we'll be out there tomorrow. And shout out Chris Powell. Powell? CDM Boxing. Next time, bring him. I like to see that aspect. That's, as a trainer, that's what interests me, is the relationship between the fighter and the trainer. I think it's imperative, and I like to see their relationship, see how they interact. It's.
Can't nobody tell me nothing about him.
See what I'm saying?
No, because he's been through it. Imagine helping a woman lose weight. Imagine helping a woman pick up pieces of her life.
He earned his spot instead of
No, he did, and I earned mine. He's a very patient man. I'm not easy to deal with sometimes.
Well, Jasmine Crawford, we 1-0. We're going for another one soon. We find out. Had to fight her back out. That's Soul Boxing Podcast with Coach Derek and Manny Fresh.
It's a wrap.
Appreciate y'all
Thank y'all.
turning in. All right.